Alright, so if we look on our plans for, it says both on our long legs and our short legs, that there's a note here. And it says, a design can be of your own choosing, but must fit within a box outlined by 3 inches from the extreme ends of the board and 1.5 inches down from the extreme top edge of the board. Design must be either on the front leg or on both ends. So, if I have my legs here, and I'm going to either do it on both of my short legs or my front leg here. So I have to, it's up to you if you want to choose it to be either on both of your side ones or your front. So I'm going to do mine just on the ends, just because. And what it said is that from 3 inches from the extreme ends and 1.5 inches down from the top. Now, it's easier to do it, you can do it on the front surface, but just keep in mind that the more mistakes you make, the more time you're going to have to spend sanding. And if you push hard on pencil, you're going to have to sand out all those pencil marks. So, what you can do is take your measurements off the back. That way, if you make any mistakes or have to erase it all, it's on the back side or the inside of your box, and no one's going to be able to see that unless they actually lift up your box and flip it over. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the end here, 1.5 inches down. And you can do this too before you make your rabbets. That's fine. Again, it's one of those steps that you can do in any order once it's cut to length. And I want to go for about 3 inches from the extreme end. So I'm going to make my mark here. And then 23. Okay. And I'm actually going to push harder just so that you guys can see the overall area. I'm going to line this up just so you guys can see about the size that you have working on. Now again, it's 3 inches from the extreme ends and 1.5 inches from the topmost edge. The reason being that if you cut your legs shorter than they need to be lengthwise, well then you're going to have to, your design won't be as large. And the reason why it's 1.5 inches from the top is for structural reasons. If there's a knot, I'll show you in a second, like if there's right here, there's a knot. If this was a larger knot and I had less material here, well then it risks, since knots are a little bit weaker, and if it's not a live knot, if it's a dead knot, you risk snapping your board in half. And we just spent all that time getting it to the right size and length and all this rabbet. Okay? So, within this area, you can do any type of design you want. If you want to do just a square cut, that's fine. If you want to do some sort of wave, whatever, just keep in mind that the more complicated your design is, the longer it's going to take to cut out on the bandsaw or jigsaw. And with your design, you're going to also have to sand it. So the more complicated it is, the more time it's going to take. So if you're a little bit further behind at this point, then I would suggest keeping with something simple. I think all I'm going to do is just a simple arc. I'm going to make a template, and then I'll transfer it to the other side.